Monopolies are not only illegal, they're really bad for fucking business. My name's Amy. I've been relearning U.S. history, and you can find me on YouTube or Substack or Patreon or over at the Foolish Optimist podcast, where I host and interview candidates running for office who, most of them, want to not only disrupt the monopolistic system we have, also overturn Citizens United. And this is a video about both. Now, I must tell you, when I talk about big tech, specifically the ones that I'm going to talk about today, I have a chip on my shoulder. That's my bias. I have a chip on my shoulder because I've worked in startups for years, and I've seen what these big tech companies do to startups, and I've seen what they do to innovation. They crush it. That's why monopolies are bad for business. There's no innovation when we look at Meta, when we look at Google, when we look at Amazon. And there was innovation, by the way. There was when they were small and they were scrappy and they were starting out. But now that they've had a hold on this market for so long, they don't need to innovate. You might be saying, Amy, Meta came out with a lot of things. Meta bought Instagram. Arguably, Facebook itself is not even its own thing, but you can talk amongst yourselves about that. But Meta bought Instagram. They didn't make it. They introduced Reels because TikTok was stealing their screen time. They introduced Threads because Twitter was in a spiral. They introduced a goddamn Snapchat Snap Map 15 years after Snapchat did it. 15 fucking years. Are you kidding? Insanity, right? And now, of course, Amazon starts as a bookseller, etc., and then they expand into web services. They own the highways of our internet. They do, right? So many of these companies are working behind the scenes to keep us, like, we have to operate on their highways in the internet. And of course, Amazon also kind of owns the highways as well because they're such a strong shipping and delivery company, right? Now, when you think about who's donating money to campaigns and who has the capacity to donate the amount of money that gets people elected, which is essentially creating a monopoly in our politics, right? Some of these people have been in office before I was born because nobody can compete, because Citizens United happened in 2012, but also because there are ways to create companies and entities that can give these people so much money that nobody can innovate. Young people who are new into politics come with new ideas, and it creates innovation within politics. And what we need right now in this moment in time is not people who have been there for 20 or 30 years. We need people who have been in the real world, who have been entrepreneurs, who have been people who have experienced the system that we operate under, who have had student loans, who know what the fuck is going on. But we've got these massive companies that are almost too big to fail, that are shutting out innovation in the tech world, who are more or less purchasing politicians who are going to continue to let them grow at the rate that they're growing. And of course, obviously, the billionaire CEOs are doing the same thing because they keep getting fucking tax breaks. There is a reason why our political world is calcified. And these companies are propping up our economy, and they do make the numbers look pretty good. But the vast majority of our economy is doing very poorly. And when you get a look under the hood of any of these companies, you're looking at massive layoffs. You're looking at leadership that can't do anything, so they just fire hundreds, if not thousands, of people. And I've watched them with my own two eyes purchase companies that would go really big and really far, but because the startup founders are so strapped for cash, they have an option to flame out or be bought. And then, of course, with that purchase, the quality of the app always goes down. Anyways, I'm thinking a lot about this circle of, I like to call it the circle jerk of mediocrity, but I feel like it's far enough into the video that TikTok won't flag me for that. Who's to say?